Hello ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to episode 6 of the Car Diaries and the Porsche 992 Carrera 4S. As a lot of you will know, this car has literally just been launched. This is one of the first customer cars on the road in Scotland, and we have our hands on it here. So we're going to be taking it for a bit of a blast, seeing what the new 911 is all about, and from what I've been told, we're in for a bit of a treat. So 992 is the 8th generation of the iconic 911 product. This car, being the 4S, has 4-wheel drive. It has 444 brake horsepower from a 3-litre twin-turbo flat 6. So this particular car, very high specification. I'm going to talk you through a few of the options on it. So starting off with these beautiful wheels. My favourite wheel on the 992, and it's what we call the RS Spider wheel. Really nicely finished. It's been done in an anthracite finish on this particular example, with those massive red brake calipers behind. Opted for the steels as opposed to the ceramics. Steels are more than ample, as always, even for you track day people out there, cheaper to change. So yeah, went for the steels on this beast. Working our way round, and the back end of this car is my favourite part. If you've not seen one of these cars in the metal, get down to your local Porsche dealership and see it. It looks absolutely tremendous. I mean, it looks honestly ridiculous. Proper chunky rear end on the car, very wide body. Porsche with the 992 have decided that all of the cars are going to have the same body shell, so they're all wide body now, even the 2S, whereas historically it's only been the 4S onwards that have had the wide body finish. You can see we've got the 911 Carrera 4S badging on the back. The 911 badging, you'll see again, quite old school. There's a number of components in this car which I think are quite old school 911, and I really like. It's sort of paying tribute to 911s of the past. The bottom rear diffuser section I think looks very like the 991 Gen 2 GT2 RS. It looks really nice. Again, please see it in the metal before commenting, because it really suits the car. This car's also been fitted with the sports exhaust system, which I can assure you sounds tremendous. So we'll have a little play around with that when we're out on the road in the car. So if we were to open this section here, that will allow us access to the oil filler cap in the car. The engine is mounted 20 centimetres further forward than in the 991 generation of the car, which gives the car a more of a mid-engine feel, and obviously helps with weight distribution and things like that as well, which ultimately I think in the corners you can really notice. Working our way around, you'll see we've got the smoked rear tail lamps on this car, which I think is a really nice touch, and we've also got the full length light there in the centre as well in red, which I think works really nicely in the car with the Porsche badging just below it. As we work our way around, you'll see we've got rear privacy glass. We've also got the pan roof in the car, which I am slowly but surely falling in love with. I love the fact that you can open the roof, allow a bit more noise into the cabin without having to have the side windows open. So coming around the front of the car, let's have a little look at the differences between the 992 and the 991. So ever so slight differences to the front end. It is very typical 911, as all you 911 fans out there will love. As you can see, slightly different front lower bumper section. The top half of the front is very similar. The bonnet design has changed ever so slightly, as you will notice. It's not quite as rounded as it has previously been on the 991 generation. This car spec'd with the Porsche LED matrix system headlights, which are absolutely tremendous. If you've driven a 911 at night, you'll know how good these lights are. They are adaptive, as you would expect, and move with the corners. But yeah, really good, especially for a car like the 911, which is situated quite low down. If I take my key out of the pocket here, and if I press the unlock button, and you'll see the door handle now pops open. So brand new door handle on this 992. Opens beautifully. The same with the interior. It's a new interior door handle, and it almost pops the door out slightly for you, so you don't need to put as much force into opening the door. That is me being picky in a few little details, but I really like it. It works really well, very functional as always with Porsche. So inside the car, again, pays tribute to 911s of the past, with the leather outside seat bolsters, with the inner in a Sportex finish, which I think looks really nice. It's very comfortable, very supportive, soft to sort of sliding around in the seats, and again, it looks very traditional 911. Now the interior is completely new in the car from the point of view that your centre console is very minimalist. So go back to 991, and as you know, the centre console was full of buttons. Almost no buttons in the 992, so it's all controlled from that central LCD display. Really nice touch. You can control your sports exhaust, you can control your suspension, you can control your powertrain. everything from that little central display. Really, really functional, very easy to use, and yeah, it's a real plus point for me, to be honest with you. Your dash now as well is fully digital. You've got a tremendous sat-nav system, which I'll talk you through, and it also uses Google Maps, so it gives you that sort of overhead street view, which is really, really neat, especially when you're going through more built-up areas and you can see the buildings and things around you on the sat-nav screen. So really, really nicely done. Great job with that Porsche. So without further ado, let's take this beast for a bit of a drive and see what the 992 4S is all about. Hey, welcome to the Porsche 992 Carrera 4S, and what a noise it makes. 3 litre, twin turbocharged, flat 6. But I can tell you it doesn't feel turbocharged. It doesn't actually feel turbocharged at all. It's very, very progressive. With the revs, we've got the all new 8-speed PDK box. So a development from the 7-speed PDK that was found in the 991 generation. Let's quieten it down a little bit. So that was us in Sport Plus mode there. We can either change it on our central display here, or we can change it on the drive mode settings on the steering wheel here. So I've just put it back into normal mode. Kept the sport exhaust on, of course. This car's been fitted with the factory sports exhaust, which sounds really, really good. A little bit of induction noise as well there. You can hear the turbos spooling, which is really, really nice. But yeah, initial thoughts are, well, the car puts a smile on my face to start off with. It seems a lot quieter in the cabin in terms of road noise, which I think is a good thing, because 911, you want it to be a very usable car. That's the thing that people love about 911 products. It's an everyday sports car. So you don't want too much road noise, but you've still got some nice exhaust and engine noise there, which positive point with it being a sports car. You've still got all the usability. The gentleman that owns this particular example has a little one, and there's still the 4 seats in the car. There's ISOFIX points in the back there as well, so you can fit a child seat, so you can keep the wife and kids happy as well at the same time, and also put a smile on your face. This new 8-speed box is definitely a lot sharper and smoother than the 7-speed. The 7-speed was very smooth. However, having driven a lot of 8-speed ZF boxes, it's not quite as smooth as the ZF box was. Whereas this, I would say, is as smooth. You genuinely don't feel the gear changes, particularly if you're just in normal mode in the car. So you get 5 modes in the car. You have wet, you've got normal, sport, sport plus, and then individual as well. So individual will allow you to tweak all of the individual settings as you would expect. So if you've got preferential settings, you can spec them up in individual mode, and then that all means all you have to do is turn your little dial here on the steering wheel into individual, and it will automatically bring up all your chassis control, your exhaust, your throttle response, everything like that as well, which is really, really nice. So what we're going to do is take the car a little bit of a drive through town just to see how it manages. Now this car has been specified with vehicle lift. The clearance of the 911 generally is very, very good, so you don't necessarily need it, but we have got that on this particular car. Now the road surfaces in Scotland at the moment aren't particularly great, so there's quite a lot of potholes and things which I'm avoiding as this is a brand new car. But ride quality and the standard chassis mode, the normal suspension setup, is really, really comfortable and compliant, as you can hopefully tell from a nice smooth GoPro there. But yeah, sitting in traffic just now, 30 miles an hour, 5th gear, revs are nice and low, really nice crisp clear display here. Porsche for the first time have a full TFT digital dash, which is really, really nice. Very functional. If I go into my right hand screen there, I can flick between a whole array of settings. Gives me our tyre pressures, G-force meter, sports chrono package, which we've got on this as well, which is really nice. So yeah, town driving does perfectly. Now we're coming onto a bit of open road, so let's get it back into Sport Plus and go on the paddles this time. Okay, let's see. Yeah, very, very quick. You're at 60 miles an hour before you know it. So it's really, really, really quick. It's actually scary that this is only the 4S. If you're wondering if the 4S will be quick enough for you, oh my god, yes. I think the quoted figure's about 3.5 seconds, 3.6 seconds I think to be precise, for the 4S, which I mean is pretty damn ridiculous. Whenever a turbo or a Turbo S version of this car comes out, it's going to be absolutely mental quick. You really do not need any quicker than this. So car starts, price point wise, around £98,000. That's forgetting options. Porsche being Porsche, you do need to spec quite a bit to get it to the sort of specification that you'd hope for. So things like the pattern roof here are optional. This car's got all the satin carbon fibre interior, which again is optional. It's got sports chrono. It's got the 16-way electrical adjustable comfort sport seats, which are really, really nice, very supportive, and more comfortable than the proper buckets in the car. So again, if you want to use the car more every day, then I would suggest going for these seats. But the good thing is, all of your nav and things is all standard in the car, and it actually uses Google Maps, which is how you get that fantastic 3D aerial bird's eye view, which is really, really nice. It's the first time I've seen use of Google Maps in a car like this. So the whole nav system uses Google Maps. I know with Apple CarPlay and things, you've got access to Google Maps, but it doesn't show the aerial view as it does in the 992 here. So that's the first time I've been in a car that's used that, and it works really, really well indeed. Now, I think this may possibly be the perfect 100 grand, call it, albeit that's not including the options, sports car for Britain. Now, there's a few reasons for that. Let's firstly talk about the competitors. So I guess direct competitors may be something like a Nissan GTR. Also, McLaren 540C, albeit it is a little bit pricier, I would say is probably a direct competitor. Now, good and bad points. Firstly, let's compare it with the GTR. GTR is a far bigger car. In terms of space in the back, I wouldn't say the GTR's got much more room than this, but in terms of actual overall size in the road, the GTR feels that bit bigger, a bit more bulbous, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but on some tight, twisty little UK B roads, which you quite often find yourself on, I think this is a more enjoyable drive because you don't need to worry about the overall size of the car. It doesn't feel too big, this. It feels very easy and very manageable on the roads. Now, McLaren 540C, on the other hand, I would say is very similarly sized to this, or it certainly feels very similarly sized on the road. However, McLaren, of course, only two-wheel drive, which again, you find yourself out in the wet quite a bit, particularly in Scotland. The McLaren can quite often get a little bit out of shape, and the 4S variant, which we're in just now, with the four-wheel drive system, I think just gives you that added peace of mind, because let's face it, all these sub 4 second to 60 cars now are becoming so quick that for the average driver like I, they're almost too quick. So if you've not got the driver systems on and things like that, or you decide to push the car that little bit more, it doesn't take much for the car to get out of shape nowadays. However, the 4S, you can drive it really quite hard and the car still stays perfectly in shape, which is a great thing, I would say. Also, McLaren's that little bit more expensive. It's not got quite as big a boot in the front, I wouldn't say, and you've not got the added benefit of those two rear seats, which albeit are small, you've got ISOFIX points, so if you do have a little one, you can squeeze them into the back, which is ticking a lot of boxes on the wife front. There's an RS4 just went up making some noise, as you probably all heard. Obviously approves of the 992. So yeah, I think this is quite possibly the perfect all-round sports car for Britain and for British roads. We're now stuck in traffic, again as you'll find yourself. You've got the start-stop system, which you don't even feel kicking in and out. It's very, very smooth. The engine, the idle on this car doesn't seem particularly harsh or anything. There's very little vibrations in the car. And as I touched on earlier in the video, in terms of road noise and things like that, there's very, very little road noise in the car. So when you are sort of cruising along through town and things like that, it's nice and peaceful. And yeah, I would say this may very well be the perfect sports car for Britain. So with a little burst of acceleration, I would like to thank you all for watching episode 6 of the Car Diaries. We hope you enjoyed a review of the 992 Carrera 4S. Again, as always, we certainly enjoyed filming it. We'd like to thank the owner of the car very much for lending us this beautiful new 992, one of the very first on the road here in Scotland. And we look forward to seeing you all in episode 7. Now, if you've enjoyed the video, please make sure to like, subscribe, and also get onto our Facebook and Instagram pages for little sneak peeks of what's coming next. Thanks for watching. And coming round the front of the car, let's take a little look at the differences.
Na 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 na, it's the one and only CRAIG. Great. Na 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 na, and we're filming with the Car Diaries. Yeah. You know we're back for all your suckers.